that hard.
Oh my god, this game. Like, they're simple 2D sprites. Why would there be so much slowdown? And
Here you bitch.
oh, you piece of shit!
I think we're getting feedback.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean,
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your Nintendo Class vs. Crass podcast on this beautiful Sunday night here where I'm living anyway. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Lapine. Joining me usual is the Shawn didn't have his nap long.
Hello.
And joining us tonight is a special guest, the only magnificent, wondrous, most brilliant, my E3 partner in crime, Greg Bargas, editor-in-chief of PC Gaming Enthusiast. Greg, how are you?
what's up, everybody? Good.
Did I say your last name wrong?
I don't know what you said. I wasn't paying attention.
All right, we're off to a good start. I said Bargas. Or is
Yeah, Bargas is right.
Okay, good. So, welcome everyone. If it is your first time joining us, we do have a format to this show. It's usually 1 hour long. When we have a guest and they're interesting, sometimes it can go over by a half hour. That's up to you guys to decide. I can't breathe and talk anymore. What do we usually do? We usually go over to what have you been playing? That's where Shawn and I talk about what we've been playing over the last week, which, what really could we be playing?
I'm playing games, so I got a fucking review. Sorry.
Whoa,
I gotta review
whoa,
things.
jeez. This is what happens when he doesn't get his nap. The F-bombs drop early.
Angry.
Very angry. Oh, don't do that. I'll go all spirit. Then we get into the major Nintendo headlines, but we,
Or lack thereof.
or lack thereof. We kind of took the biggest headline of last week and did a quickie on Thursday, leaving us with not much left. But luckily we have Greg here, so we're going to talk a lot more about Greg, his opinion, his love of Nintendo, his history with Nintendo. Greg has a very similar background to us, except he's over in PC land. What are you playing?
This piece of shit.
All right, so we're gonna have some general talk, get into some interesting topics. Then we go into the lightning round. That's at the end where you toss up your topics and questions for either of us for the last 15 minutes of the show, and we do that. And we have some games to give away, so I think we're gonna give away some games if I can find them. Without any further ado, Greg, let's get to know you a little bit better. What's your gaming history? What are you all about? What should people know about you?
You should know that I'm not a trader. I just like Shawn, I collect a lot of retro. I play a lot of console, which is surprising for somebody that plays so much PC. But I just recently built my first gaming oriented PC from scratch. But I mean, honestly, I started playing on console and I will continue to play on console. But I mean, I generally like all games. It just depends, if I find it interesting, even if it's not a genre that I don't play, I'll still give it a shot.
Nice. And what is your console of choice this generation? And you can be honest. Don't suck up to us.
I'm just like I said before, like day one, I bought a Wii U. I bought a Wii day one. I did like my Wii U up until probably recently. A lot of PC games like Doom. I play a shit ton of Rocket League. I play my Xbox One probably the most, but it's actually the least touched of my consoles. But I just recently picked up a PS4. But it's in terms of design, it's way better. I feel.
The Xbox One or PS4?
PS4.
Yeah,
Um,
I was surprised you said you play the Xbox One the most, especially because most people argue that, oh, all the Xbox One games are playable on PC anyways.
and that's kind of, I like variety. I don't like sticking to just one platform. I love Nintendo platforms, and I don't have a problem admitting that. They do some interesting things. It's pretty remarkable, even in the onset. When I saw what the Wii U could do with the second screen and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of a weird time right now, I feel like. So I've just been, playing a little bit here, like Uncharted 4. I play a little bit on Xbox, some like Battlefront, but most of the time, like I've been playing Overwatch and Doom and Rocket League on the PC. So I kind of just float between all three.
Nice. So you're a very well-rounded gamer.
Yes.
Awesome. Shawn, you still with us? What? Okay,
Sean's
he
he's
really he
dead.
really isn't. So Greg, I don't know how often you actually watch this podcast, if at all, but Shawn usually drops off on us all the time because
I have seen that.
he has terrible internet. But
Kind of weird. I looks like I'm constantly looking down, but my glasses have like a weird. Looks like my eyes are closed. I have a weird like tint to my glasses. Maybe
no,
is that?
no, it's fine. It's fine. So until Shawn gets back, I did have a few things lined up for tonight. But before that, I was wondering if there were any topics you were interested in bringing to the table in general, like anything. If you want to talk NX, if you want to talk Nintendo Legacy, physical versus digital, like any E3. How about E3? E3 might be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have already kind of touched on the topic of what Nintendo's bringing or lack thereof.
Hmm.
And I've visited the Nintendo booth year after year. This is my seventh year going, but seven, yeah.
Okay.
But just in terms of hardware, it's kind of a different weird time as well too, because we're seeing a lot of people haven't really delved into like the Polaris architecture, what that means for consoles, AMD and their external video card support, and that kind of it happened about the same time that the Nintendo NX pushed back production. So there's some weird stuff going on in the industry right now.
Okay, so you've lost me a second. So can you like can you noob talk me through that again?
And I'm not that well versed in it either, but I followed enough to know, and that's what's PC gaming has offered up, a little bit more. So AMD provides the hardware to every single console that's on the market right now.
Mhm.
And when we're talking, the Xbox Scorpio is in, 40% more powerful than the PlayStation Neo, and then AMD has this press conference at Computex and announces their additional line of GPUs, which is the video graphics cards, as well as their APUs, which combine the CPU and the GPU in one piece, which is what consoles utilize. That's about the same time Nintendo pushed back production and scaled it down from, what was it, 20 million units on the onset down to 10 million.
Right,
But
yeah.
we don't, yeah.
Yeah, so that there he goes again. That's two drops for Shawn. But luckily we have you, so it's much better to listen to you. Yeah, that was actually
Oh,
one of
thank
the big rumors that dropped last week about the NX cutting production, the mass production being delayed till early 2017. If anybody wants more info on that, we did do a class versus Crass on Thursday on that. Uh, so what does that mean then, Greg, in your opinion? Is this like how did it work before? Because it sounds like AMD is pretty much taking over all gaming hardware, or was that always the case? What was it before, as far as
I
you
think they
know?
had a good, and we touched on this. So we started Let's Discuss, kind of taking on some of the topics for the week as well too. But Jake and I touched on it a little bit, and it's just a weird, like I said, a weird time for consoles because they're starting to cross more over into the PC realm. But Nintendo has a good hold on them, on what they do in terms of like game development, production, just because they have their first party characters like Donkey Kong, Mario, and I just saw something today too that I think you saw it dropped in the chat, that was in regards to Nintendo milking its fan base, which I mean, isn't that what they're supposed to do? They're supposed to cater to the fans of.
Well, wasn't that so? I think you're referring to
It was a 4chan post.
yeah. So, but that was related to a video we posted, I think last week or the week before, which were the 10 best-selling games on the Wii U. And there was this
Mhm.
user in 4chan who said basically, oh, 6 of them are all Mario games, and so Nintendo's just milking it. Uh, but wasn't your counter? What was your counter argument to that? That like every franchise is doing that, right? Whether it's like Call of Duty
Yeah,
or
and then look at the Xbox One. Like the Xbox One used to buy it because of exclusive games and Halo, and I mean the kind of Halo games we've been seeing and the exclusives they've over the course of the years have just diminished to, I mean, not really anything be exclusive anymore. But Nintendo has done a really good job of keeping its proprietary intellectual property while still moving to mobile, doing it at a slower pace. But I think they're doing it right, even though they catch a lot of flack. I still think they're doing it the right way.
yeah, like given the whole situation, I definitely agree that Nintendo is in a unique position. They are doing a lot of things right, but they get a lot of hate because it's I don't know the gaming industry really loves, or not so much the gaming industry as it is the gamer fan base community love to hate on Nintendo for some reason, and I don't understand what that hate is grounded on because you look at their IPs and you could say yeah they're always doing the same thing, but it's not the same thing. Okay, Mario Galaxy and New Super Mario Brothers U, for example, are two Mario games, but they're two
Right.
completely different games at the same time, right? And they offer two different experiences. So what are you arguing? Oh, they're using their mascot to
they're
to like
they're using their mascot appropriately. Damn
damn
them.
them, yeah. So Shawn, you with us?
Yeah, I'm making a call tomorrow. This is fucking ridiculous.
Thank you. My God. Get some insurance on that too, so that like you get reimbursed. So I
Oh,
don't know.
give me money.
Yeah, money's good.
Take off my bill.
So I don't know if you heard any of Greg's early points on what was being talked about, or do you need an
No.
update? No. Okay. So he was saying something about an AMD. Oh, I'm going to be paraphrasing terribly here. Uh, Greg, how about you repeat it so I don't
Here,
sound like an idiot?
AMD just has a lot of cool shit coming out, and it's going to determine basically it's at the end of the day it's going to be who utilizes what in terms of their new architecture and technology that's coming out, and how are they going to use it. And I mean, if you can drop a video card that's $200 versus $700 or $600 that can do VR, how do you think? I mean, you'd be wrong to think that that's not going to be translated over to anybody's console. I mean, you have less expensive technology out there that can now support virtual reality. You, it's it. I don't think that they're not going to take advantage of the opportunity to produce more powerful consoles that can do more things. Just given the time, that and we talked about that too, looking at launch times. They're all hit about the same time, and if Nintendo was looking at this all along, then maybe they just made some last minute changes in who they're going with.
I mean, that still sucks because virtual reality's lame. But yeah, I mean that's a good point. I don't know. It's very up in the air what Nintendo's doing.
As usual. So Shawn, what are you playing? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, I finally finished after getting stuck. B3 and Expo for Bees,
Sounds fantastic.
which no, it should have been a good game, but the problem is they made a really good engine. They did really good graphics, interesting story, um, uh, good controls, good music, but they forgot to make a fucking game. There's no game. There's nothing to it. It can be beaten in like 30 minutes, and it's like, why? What happened here? Did
Like
you forget the game part?
it's like less of a game than Amiibo Festival.
It's a tech demo essentially. That's pretty much what I called it. My review of it went up today.
Oh.
Um,
Well, it sounds like it's a game that was really built around E3, so maybe, they had to make
it was rushed.
yeah,
It's kind
exactly.
of like, did you guys ever play Ika-chan? I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
I don't
About
think
the
so.
little squid on the 3DS.
I
No.
don't think so.
Yeah, it was one of the. It's like kind of a smaller 2D exploration puzzle game, which was really
2D
good. But
puzzle
it was
platformer.
no,
Those
no,
are the
no.
best.
You swim around and you're a little squid. Art style was done very. very well, but it was just super short. I want to say it was probably about the same length.
I mean, that's a $10 game. That's unacceptable. And then I'm also playing Olympia Rising, I think it's called.
What's that on?
That's on the Wii U. It's a 2D puzzle platformer,
Surprise.
and it has frame rate issues that make it give it problems. It's not out yet. It comes out this week. Evidently, this was a Kickstarter.
What? I didn't hear about it.
game.
Really?
Yeah, it was, from a couple years ago. But
Oh, good to see it came out.
I mean, it's the sad thing is, once again, the art style is really good. I like the music, but there's just these frame rate issues, and the game is kind of based on precision, and you can't be precise when the frame rate's all over the place. So now I'm just dicking around in Freeze Me, which is a gorgeous looking game.
But does it play well?
Freeze Me? I think it does.
It didn't get that many great scores.
I don't know why. I thought it was a very fun game.
Didn't you play it, Greg, on the PC version?
Freeze Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe that one's someone else. But speaking of indies and Kickstarters, we finally got some news last week of Shantae, Half Genie Hero, coming out finally September. Physical release. And speaking of physical release and indies, Runbow is also getting a physical release on the 3DS.
Rumored.
Oh, now you tell me it's a rumor.
You should do your homework. You shouldn't listen to me. Yeah, they're both. Well, it's also coming to the Wii U.
It's already physical, you mean?
ETH.
Mm.
But yeah, it's all just. I mean, I think they're announcing it at E3, and Amazon kind of screwed them over because when they were asked about it, they were like, "Oh no, it's not a thing." But yeah, it's a thing. That's cool. I like. It's all Xseed too. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know who's doing Runbow.
Yeah.
I always make the mistake at the end of the console cycles like this, when you have physical releases of games.
Whoa.
I always mean.
Did you just say at the end of console cycles?
Yeah, shut up.
And that we're here now, like.
Well, that we see like games like Shantae get a physical release or Runbow, and I always don't pick them up, and then I kick myself after because they're the ones that are worth more. And
okay,
man, I should have done that in the first place.
I totally feel you. I don't know if you saw
we are at the end.
Huh?
We're at the end.
You what?
The Wii U is going to be done soon.
Okay, I thought you were talking about all three consoles because you used plural. But yeah, if you're talking about the Wii U, I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. It's dead.
Yeah. No.
You don't think it's dead?
Yeah, it's dead. I'm joking.
Okay.
Well, see, and like I said before, I remember when I first got my Wii U. Shawn got his too, and I don't know if he remembers this, but we video chatted like.
Yep, I remember.
He was like the only other person that I knew that bought one.
Oh.
Yeah, we used the Wii U video chat thing.
We actually tried when before Class vs. Crass was a thing. Shawn and I tried to do a Wii U, like a chat over the podcast, but we could never get it to work properly. Like
I remember that.
We couldn't like get it to record, or there was a part missing. I forget what it was. But yeah, good point on the physical point versus digital, because I just made a quick vlog the other week about how I preferred physical games over digital, and how I just got new Super Luigi U, which is exactly what you're talking about, that you're like, oh, I'll just get that game later, and then it shoots up in price. Do you have new Super Luigi U?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, lucky.
Can't say that I played it, but it's there.
On Switch, turns out my copy is bad and it doesn't work, so... I got the disc, but it doesn't play. But yeah, what do you think will happen, Greg, regarding physical and digital? So we already know Shawn despises digital, only believes in physical. What is your realistic opinion of what we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think we're obviously going to see more digital, but I'm kind of with Shawn on this one. It's so silly that you're paying additional money to have additional storage, like 500 gigs, like for Xbox One and PS4, and it's gone relatively quickly just because game updates are 10 gigs, or this patch is 20 gigs, or if you download what's it called? Xenoblade Chronicles or whatever. I never played it,
All the
obviously,
patches. You don't need
but yeah, and it's like I just think that's the silliest part about it, that you can have as many digital games as you want, but if you don't have the storage space for it, or you're not accommodating your consumers that have the console for it, then what's the point? Like, I was really excited even with the Wii U. I bought the deluxe, but I bought a 64 gig card and it only supports up to, I think, 32.
Oh.
So I was like, ah, shit. But the more, if consoles continue to support external hard drives, then I'm okay with it. They need to open that up a little bit. Not everybody's going to go and hack their console, especially with so many Roblox in place. But
Here's your digital feature bullshit. I'm going to read you a story from Mr. Roger DeLuigi.
Oh,
Roger's Base. Struggled with PlayStation customer service all morning and afternoon trying to get access to my old PSN account. My old PSN was tied to my college email, which I can no longer access. And the only way to verify is with a credit card that expired years ago, even though I had the original PS3 serial number. So I needed to make a new PSN. RIP over $3,000 worth of digital games.
Ooh.
There's your digital feature, asses. Keep pushing.
But even I don't know. Like the whole thing about, you were saying for digital you have to get all these hard drives and stuff, but it's getting to the point Wii U excluded. You need a hard drive regardless, even if you are getting physical, because you have to download the game, or at least on the Xbox. I don't know if it does this on the PlayStation 4 as well. Like the one thing I hate so much about this generation, like last generation, the annoying thing was with the PS3, had to freaking update the system every time I turned it on, and that
yeah,
took 10 minutes. But now this generation, it's like, oh, I just bought a new game. Too bad I can't play it till tomorrow morning because I have to wait for all the downloads, all the patches. Um, and it's to the point, like I'm seeing some games now are doing day one edition, and I'm just like, that's like tainting your game. Like day one edition doesn't sound good at all in the gaming world these days. How do
but
you?
that's also kind of, then you start to think about it a little bit more. Is that a storage issue, or is that we're getting incomplete games on launch issue?
I think it's a combination of both. I think maybe optical discs are starting to reach their limit of usefulness. Um,
Based on what?
on the fact that you have to download the game anyways.
No, you're not downloading the game necessarily. You're downloading patches. That's like look at Tony Hawk 5 on the console. The disc had nothing on it. You had to download an 8 gig patch that was the actual game. That's just shittery. That has nothing to do with optical drives and disc drives and shit like that. That's just shittery.
Okay,
and that's what they do.
And that's what I was saying too. If a game is broken on launch and you have to download a patch, or if it's the content is on disc and you have to unlock it, like, stop doing that to us. Just give us a complete game on launch on the disc. I'm 100% advocate for physical releases. That's majority where I buy my content.
Right. But it's not just okay. A lot of companies do what you just say. You get the day one patch that fixes the game or that gives you the whole game. But there are complete games that it downloads to your console so that it can actually run smoother and that you don't have these massive load screens. That's a limitation of physical or optical discs. Like these massive open world games, half of that game downloads from the disc or online wherever to your console so that it can load areas faster.
So and maybe they should use SD cards.
I'm sorry.
Maybe they should use additional a different form of media.
You shouldn't talk with a cigarette in your mouth.
I don't think that's a issue. They should just use a different form of media.
Agreed, and that's what I'm saying. We are seeing.
But it doesn't have to be digital.
No, I never said it had to be digital. I'm saying we're seeing the limits of physical discs or optical discs, and we need to move to maybe new cartridges. I really think cartridges might be relevant again, and we're already hearing rumors of it might be. We might be seeing the NX move to cartridges again.
I'm so tired of the NX.
No, you're tired of the rumors of the NX.
I think I'm tired of the system. Like, I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Like it could come out.
So can we talk about the NX a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Please? What are your thoughts on the NX, Greg? This isn't the Let's Make Shawn Happy show, so don't worry about it.
I do agree the move to SD cards or higher capacity cards to store games. I think that's especially if the read and write speeds are exceptionally high, then by all means move to it.
I just want to be able to hold like a bunch of NX cards in my like fingers like Yu-Gi-Oh and just be like, wow. What game do you choose to battle me in?
Pick one.
Ha, you've activated my trap game. Shawn is probably completely lost in this because he doesn't watch anime.
Just check it out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
like turtles.
We know
Pretty
that.
much.
Did you see the new Ninja Turtles, by the way?
No, I saw. I can't remember if the review was from Polygon or from Kotaku, and it was just completely trashed. And I wasn't too happy with the first one, and
Mhm.
then I played Mutants in Manhattan, and then I was like, probably won't go see it.
Sure, it wasn't from TVenthusiast.com.
No, I think I saw the review. I think you probably linked it, Greg. I saw it was either Kotaku or Polygon, or I don't know, maybe it's the same network, but someone bashed it, and then I was seeing all my friends who saw it, and they're all like, "Oh my God, best Ninja Turtles ever!" I was just like, "What? What's
Yeah.
going on? Is it good or is it bad?" So,
I don't
all
know.
right. Gee, I have nothing to segue. I usually go over to like my Nintendo headlines here to like let's see what we can segue. And my my headlines is legit three things: Shantae physical, Runbow to 3DS physical, NX rumors. That's all I got.
Yay.
It's sad. It is sad. But do you see, Greg, consoles? This is something I've been wanting to talk to with someone. I think you're in a great position to say this. Do you think we're going to see the end of consoles in the next generation or two,
I
as we know them?
I
Consoles as
think as we
yeah, sorry.
as we know them, yeah, and that's Jake wrote a really good feature on this, just kind of discussing some of the points like Alienware put out it's called the Alienware Amplifier, which was an external drive bay that you place your video cards in, so you can dock your laptop with a external base for video cards. Then you had Razer doing the same thing, and I mean, as much as people want to try and avoid it, I think it's just going to become. I mean, the demand for better quality games, you have hardware limitations on consoles. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of the hybrid systems, especially with the flop of the Steam box. If a console developer can do it the right way, which I really feel that they're in the position to do that right now, they're going to, and I really feel that we're going to see more hybrid consoles than anything. So yes, like consoles as we know them, yeah, they will change.
What would be a hybrid console? Sorry.
So like the regular console with, its built-in hardware, plus you go out and buy the RX 480, which retails for $200. It goes in a slotted bay on the exterior of your console, and now you can play the game at 120 FPS and max settings.
So basically, like a modular thing where everything is standardized to slots, like you're saying, and then you just go out and buy whenever you want to upgrade. And then the new games will say, oh, you need, a slot level 5 or a video card level 5. Like everything would be simplified to for the.
I think they're going to simplify it for us. I mean, we're going to probably have a few options of cards that they support, and then it will be, kind of moving to where it's very consumer friendly upgrading versus what it is right now. It's either console or PC, and we're going to see like maybe a few options for consoles to be more like PCs that we know.
Hmm. I agree with that. What do you think, Shawn?
Um, Not anytime soon.
Where
Because
are you
you could
sitting? Sorry.
you could have all the damn power in the world, but if people can't make the games optimized for the systems, then what's the point? What's the point? There's no point. There's no point.
It's the marketing.
Development costs are so high. Development costs are so high. Then you know what? Scale the game back. Don't make the game if you can't afford it. It's like going out to eat when you can only afford ramen. It's stupid. And then these studios shut down. Video
Well,
games are going down the shitter, man. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what. Video games are going down the shitter. And there's going to be a crash soon. And I'm going to sit back and laugh.
but then you
I
want.
I would have to agree with that. You and especially if you can't do the game right, then and we see development studios closing and there's such there's such demand for them to appease, so many audiences. But then you get games that, even though Shawn hates Overwatch, are like Overwatch, that are done with a certain art style that are well optimized.
I don't hate Overwatch. I hate Overwatch on consoles. On PC, it's fine because that's what it's for. It is a PC game. It is a $40 game on the PC. It is an online-only game on the PC. That makes sense. That doesn't make sense in the realm of consoles. Plus, you're charging $60. That's stupid. And I don't really care for the art style. I mean, it's nice, but it's way too. It's not detailed enough. Like I played the beta for a good bit, and I was like, this looks like an HD Dreamcast game that's kind of good, but where's textures and stuff? Like, I don't know. But
the same can be said for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I mean, the Mirror's Edge franchise is generally a well-developed visual style that appeases some realism, but as well as kind of comical in the same sense. But to where it sits on the console on the Xbox One, and the videos that I've seen, it looks like they could have done the same thing on the Xbox 360, and that's not paying too much attention to the game. But I mean, even in, like you said, like, development costs were probably astronomical for it, and they're banking everything on having it being successful. When, I mean, it's really the Xbox One as we know at the end of that life cycle. I don't know.
It's shit, and the problem with video games right now, it stems from development costs being too high. Companies can't afford it. Companies are going out of business, and rushed hardware. The PS4 and the Xbox One are rushed systems. Period. End of discussion.
Well,
and now you're seeing the repercussions of that. Now you got to upgrade that shit. I ain't upgrading nothing. I might sell my PS4 and buy a PS3.
What?
Yeah, I would say that the Xbox One, the general layout of the dashboard is, I mean, when I can load my Xbox 360 and it's a lot snappier, it's way better laid out. The user interface is a lot easier to use than the Xbox One. And I just sold an Xbox One that I traded a 3DS XL for. And sitting there waiting for the guy to boot it up from Craigslist, and like thinking in my head, like, man, this is really slow. And then waiting for him just to get into the dashboard to check to see if everything was wiped out, like I said it was. Like, when I can go and boot up my PS4, be within a movie, then jump to PlayStation View, then jump back into a game in a matter of 5 minutes. Like, I don't feel that. I have to agree with Shawn. It was completely rushed.
Well, I mean, and the problem with the Xbox One is that they did a whole 180 on the whole stance of the console. A year from release. So of course, I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
There it is.
It's about time I said it. Okay. The Xbox One is weaker than the PS4. Point blank. Period. Games run better on the PS4 most of the time. Point blank. Period. Games on the PS4 are still not at where they should be. Why? I don't give a shit about specs, but I have to question why I could play games on the PS3, the Xbox 360, and essentially the Wii U that have the same output of 1080p 30 frames per second. 1080p 60 frames per second should be a standard, but no, there's no standard. You still have top tier releases being released at 900p. If you want to get into this resolution gate shit, that right there shows you that these things were so rushed, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind. My PS4 is essentially Doom. Okay, I'm going to too many games in Philly at the end of June. Guess what I'm bringing? Every fucking PS4 game I own, because I want to get rid of them. I'm going to keep Doom because Doom is fun, and I want to buy retro shit with it because it's stupid, man. All these games are just they're incremental increases, and people say Uncharted 4 is great. I will find out one day. I'm not a huge Uncharted fan, but man, this generation was rushed, and it's disappointing as shit.
Yeah, you can look at like Sunset Overdrive, probably one of the best, well-optimized Xbox One games there is out there. Insomniac, developed that game. Uncharted 4, In terms of graphics, I would say it's underwhelming.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you could look at. I would say Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider was probably better developed in terms of visual specs. It hasn't really done that much for me. I mean, of course, it's just in the way they tell the story is intriguing, but I mean, visually, I mean, it's good. It's not. I wouldn't say it really met expectations or exceeded them.
So do you guys feel that this whole rush system, I think we can all agree here that the Xbox One and PS4 were rushed. Do you think that was a move brought upon by the Wii U's release and how the Wii U kind of came out as a mid-cycle release? Or do you think it was just Microsoft and Sony being completely paranoid of each other and just putting it out there?
I
The
think it's
latter.
neither. They were disconnected with their audience, complete disconnect with what consumers wanted. They went with what they thought they wanted.
So what do you think consumers wanted versus what they want, what the perception was?
Consumers don't know what the hell they want either.
Except Shawn, he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
Um,
Less bullshit.
yeah.
I hate having to sit there and wait for my game to update or all the promises that this is going to be the most visually pleasing game out there possible.
Hmm.
If that's the case, then I'll just you know buy it on PC and then see for myself with my discounted video card that I got that can run 90% of the games out there at full 1080p 60 FPS. It's
Right. Before I move on, it's faster than typing, but Nicholas is saying Wii U was never a threat, and I disagree. If Wii U wasn't a threat, why did we see at the next E3 Xbox come out with the Surface and showing how the Surface connects with the Xbox One, and then Sony was like, oh yeah, you can use the Vita as a controller too to have two screens on with the PS4. So if the Wii U wasn't a threat, you wouldn't have seen Xbox or PlayStation do that. Like realistically, was it a threat? No, but it did have some
Oh, hindsight.
influence.
Hindsight is 2020.
it was reactive instead of proactive. The Wii U second screen was proactive because the 3DS did it well. I think the Wii U did it very well, and then the reaction from the other console makers was to make it a second screen through Glass and even the PlayStation app.
That's what it was, glass, not surface. Yeah. And it could have potential. Like you didn't need the whole interactivity of the Wii U gamepad. Like yeah, the gamepad was great, but one of the best examples I loved was just playing Assassin's Creed 4 and being able to look at the map as I'm steering my ship through, like trying to be all stealth like. Like it was so helpful to just look down on my map instead of pushing plus or whatever, pull up the pause menu. So if you
Well, it's
can,
convenient. The
it's very
Wii U gamepad should have been convenience first, functionality second.
convenience first, functional. Yeah, for sure.
Except for
But
Minecraft, they completely screwed the pooch on that one.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because convenient. Well, no, because that still would have been convenience. Because convenience doesn't necessarily mean you just have a map or you could do off TV play. Convenience in Minecraft would be able to use the gamepad as your controller.
As an extra,
So
as an add-on.
right. Hold on, I gotta kick someone from the room here.
What?
I gotta put them in timeout.
Oh. All right. Oh, of course, 64-bit for life. So, hang
What
on
did
though.
it say?
Like,
I missed it.
I don't know. They're always knocking on each other. But I think the Wii U gamepad was a little bit early for what we're seeing here. Like, you're seeing Nintendo get into the mobile market. We're hearing that the NX is maybe, like from the rumors last week, maybe the NX is going to support Android games and the usual Nintendo stuff. So I really think the gamepad was built to keep that casual audience that was now playing all these touchscreen games and to be able to port those mobile touchscreen games easily to the gamepad, and it completely failed. It flopped. But um, yeah, I think that's the whole reason that the gamepad was there, more so than just because it worked on the DS. Obviously, on the DS, when you're playing, it's they're very close together, which is not what you experience with the Wii U having a screen on your lap.
Yeah. What do you feel about this? I mean, even with Nintendo consoles, minus the GameCube, we saw, quite a few iterations of that console, whether it's, the smaller Wii or the red one or,
Red one, yeah.
whatever the case is. I mean, the one without the GameCube ports on the top of it. Um, I think that this might fall along the lines of they're going to do something similar to the Wii U, but I mean, even the design of the gamepad I thought was kind of cheaply done. Um, but I feel like maybe this is their opportunity for a redesign and an overhaul, something beyond just a gamepad.
With what, the NX? Or with a Wii U redesign?
Yes. Well, with the One NX, I don't think the Wii U is going to see any more design.
Changes? No.
Yeah.
I think we will see like some kind of touchscreen control, and it'll probably be a slicker version of the gamepad.
Hmm.
Like most kids now have tablets and phones, and like it's just a thing. Like it's not like there are special tablets and phones just for, well, I guess there are, but like for toddlers and stuff. So I don't think we need this big clunky, you know, controller anymore. Although this can take quite a beating.
Yeah.
I've dropped this thing plenty of times doing skits on videos, and there's not a scratch on it, and it's in very good shape. So
That's why
there's
I'm
that to
always
be
kind of
said.
surprised to hear that people shattered it. I'm
I'm
like,
sorry?
good Lord, that's why I said I'm always surprised to hear people shatter it. I'm like, good Lord, what were you doing with it?
No kidding. Good old Nintendo. It's always reliable. All right, you guys ready to give out a game? I'll take that as a yes.
Yay.
Yay, free game time. All right, let me find what I'm doing. May 9th, here it is. I think this is the one. Yes, it is. All right, usually we do this for trivia. Do you have any trivia we could use, Greg, off the top of your head? Do you have any kind of cool, and Sean's gone, because he's always gone. What are we going to be giving out? Let's go with Freedom Planet. That'd be a good game to give out today. Freedom Planet for the Wii U. Greg, do you have any maybe Freedom Planet or Sonic based trivia that we could use?
Oh.
I say Sonic because Freedom Planet's often considered the proper sequel to the Sonic franchise.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I wish I would have known beforehand.
Oh, sorry. I usually just dump this on Sean, and he's like, "Bam! I know some trivia." Come on,
uh,
you're a retro collector. You should have something in your back pocket.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, I'm looking it up
Gosh
too.
damn
What's your most obscure console?
it. I have a probably I have a TurboGrafx 16, Panasonic 3DO. Not really anything too out there.
Okay. Yeah. I played the 3DO as a kid. I was really surprised. Like I didn't know that console existed. My cousin was just like, "Oh, try this out." I was like, "What the hell is this? It's not Nintendo or Sega or
And I
Sony."
remember seeing it, not being able to afford it.
Yeah, it was like $700, wasn't it?
Yeah.
6 or 700.
I remember seeing it at like a Radio Shack or something like that.
Oh, Radio Shack. Still looking for trivia. So, guys, we're going to be giving out a code for North American code, I have to state. So, if you're not in North America, you might not be able to use this. Sorry about that. But for Freedom Planet, have you tried Freedom Planet yet?
That would be a negative.
Oh, it's good.
Sean, do you have any good trivia for Freedom Planet?
No.
Damn it. Do you have any? How about a Jurassic Park trivia?
Um, Let me think. Hold on.
This is what happens when we don't prepare ahead of time.
I didn't even know we were giving away a code.
I didn't either. I kind of decided it when we started because we didn't give out any last time.
That's park trivia. What was the brand of shaving cream
Oh
that
my God.
that had the embryos that Nedry dropped?
What?
People will know. That's an easy.
Can I answer? Can I answer?
What is the shaving cream brand of who?
Yeah. That Dennis Nedry drops when he's going to give it to the guy at the dock, and then the officer sprays him in
That.
the eye.
Okay, yeah.
It's an easy one.
I don't know the answer to that, but I remember the scene.
It's actually a very. That's how the Telltale game. Greg, I bought a PC game today.
What?
Mr. Grebery got it.
Mr. Jeeber 2777. All right, we're gonna send you a code for Freedom Planet. Let's see if I can actually do it now so I don't forget. I can't, so you're gonna get after the show when I can focus on it. All right, I had something else I was going with all this, and I completely forgot where we were heading. We were talking about. Oh yeah, I want to talk about E3 because Greg, E3 is kind of what I identify you with. You know, we've done the last two E3s together. Lots of good memories there. For anyone who's watching, Greg is going to be our one of our team leads on the ground at E3. He's going to be bringing a lot of our enthusiast writers around, showing them the ropes. Um, how do you feel about this year's E3, Greg? In general, just general.
It sucks.
Really? You think it sucks?
No. I'm excited. I'm kind of disappointed at the fact that a lot of companies pulled out or are doing. I mean, I see it as a benefit, to have more fan incorporated events there. But at the same time, like, if that's the case, why do you make it so hard for people to go? This is my 7th year going, and each year it's become harder and harder just to attend the event in terms of getting a press pass, because essentially if you don't have a press pass, you can't get anywhere. Even one year I went as an attendee, and I had all these appointments, and people were flagging me to stop me from getting into meeting rooms. And, I had like Ubisoft waiting for me behind closed doors, and I couldn't even get to my appointment on time. I had to have the PR person come out, grab me, and then walk me through. Um, every year I kind of feel the same way. Like, even though it's my 7th year, I never really, get to the point where I'm not excited to go. But I just wish some of the it's like either choose a route, have it open to the public, less industry, or if you're going to make it an industry only event, then cater, more so to that side. I mean, that's what PAX is for, and all the other expos out there, like this silly EGLX I heard of.
Don't be hating on that.
But cater to one side or the other. Make a decision here. Don't and EA, a lot of other companies pulled out and opted for this, kind of fan-oriented event. But I don't know. You see leaks every year. It's just a little. Again, it's just a weird time in the industry. Kind of a few years back when we saw Nintendo barely launching the Wii U, we saw talks about Xbox and PlayStation having newer consoles. But now you have that on top of, developers and publishers pulling out. So it's an exciting time, but it's kind of also there.
You guys dropping beats?
Well, he kind of did that when he was talking.
Did I?
No, he did. Yeah, the Nintendo's E3 is an abomination. Absolute abomination.
I think it'll be better than last year's. Like, even if there's one game on the show floor, I don't care. It's Zelda. They can make it look super glamorous, and it's going to be better than last year's E3. Let's face it. Last year was terrible. Even what you had to play. What did we have to play? I guess it's the first time we got to play Star Fox.
Puke is better than shit. Like, come on, Jason. Like, you can't.
Are you calling Zelda U puke?
I'm calling Zelda U. It should have came out this fucking year. And it's ridiculous that it's not. Period. End of discussion.
Dude, how can we have a podcast if you're just period end of discussion everything?
Because I'm right. It should have came out this year.
You're worse than a little bitch right now. You're just like, yeah, it's in my opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's a fact. The Wii U version should have released this year. The NX version should have released next year. It wouldn't have hurt either version.
I don't know. They're gearing up for a solid launch. Like, what they're doing, they're taking a lot of hits this
year. They're gearing up for a solid launch of what? The NX? Because right now there's one game. So I'm not quite sure where you're getting solid launch.
Dude, have you ever seen Nintendo be this quiet for that long? There is no way that they're just sitting on their ass not knowing what they're doing.
Yes, I have. You know when it was? Last year before E3.
Okay, but it's been quiet since that, so it's even longer. Last year they were quiet for 3-4 months before E3, and that's why we were all like excited. Oh, there's gonna be big stuff. Then there was nothing. But now it's.
And I don't consider Tokyo Mirage Sessions to be an E3 game because it comes out at the end of the month. So it's not really an E3 game. Zelda and Pokemon is all you have.
Greg,
that's it.
Greg, thoughts? Whose side you on here?
I don't like what Nintendo did. I've seen their floor space every year, and kind of the segmented areas that they have. Even for the 3DS, when the 3DS first came out, I waited in a huge line and then got went up to the area where press only could play, and they had a lot of stuff going on in terms of real estate at the show, like the area that they had, but having that same space, and I saw, having they have to keep the same space every year. But even last year we had what's the competitive event, I forget what the hell it's called.
Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, even they had that to kind of shoulder it.
That's
They
true.
also had, a lot more streaming events going on. I like the incorporation of the Treehouse discussions as supplemental content to their E3 press conference. And now it just seems so disjointed, and just I don't like what they're doing this year. I mean, I look forward to watching their press conference every year, or to kick off E3, or to have something else other than Zelda. It's if they're and again they're holding out for the Nintendo NX launch, and it's kind of a disservice to kind of have so much of this talk of, hey, it's going to release, and people get excited for it, and now they have to wait once again.
Yeah, we're just blue balling. Like it can't live up to the hype that it's built up for itself, basically.
Took off all my clothes and didn't go through with the act.
Pretty much, they're just like, oh, let's actually watch
Well, I mean,
Netflix.
I don't have to take off a day of work to cover it. That's
true.
how bad it is.
That's true.
What am I going to cover? Oh, they showed the Zelda, and there's 27 blades of grass in this one area, and
if you pick up the
it's not coming out till next year. So go fuck yourself. Like,
it's very.
But I'm still kind of riding on the same feeling that Nintendo said they're not going to show their games, but that doesn't mean other developers are not.
What are they going to show? They're not. No one's making anything for the Wii U. No one evidently knows what the NX is. So what could they possibly show?
And maybe that'll be unfolded at the show. I don't.
You'll see 3DS stuff. You could probably see some 3DS stuff, and that's cool. I love the 3DS. But I mean, for fuck's sake, man, home consoles are important. They're always important. They'll always be important. Stop treating them like they're not.
Yeah,
they're not important.
It's really frustrating. Greg, we're gonna hit you. No, you're right, and I have nothing to say. It's demoralizing. It's sad. It makes me want to cry. It makes Shawn want to scream. I don't know. Is it that hard to understand the freaking perspective of Nintendo? You have great games that you can make on a console, and they don't have to be high end. Like there are games do run 1080p, 60 frames per second, but that doesn't even matter. Like I don't know. It's frustrating, but.
I think you just get the ups and downs of the industry. And one year, I mean, I can say this after attending so many E3s, that there are years that it's like, man, why did I come, all 3 days, or why did I even come 2 days when I could have just came maybe a day and knocked out the rest of the coverage on the second day and left.
Right.
And I think this feels like one of those years. Well, there's not really much going on. And it's just the way the industry is right now. It's just one of those kind of off kilter years.
Right.
I think this year's E3 is going to be shit.
Overall, for everybody.
I thought last year's E3 was shit. Because where are those games that you saw at E3 last year?
They're going to be talked about again this year.
They're going to be talked about again this year. You're going to get some stupid ass crowdfunding of a major IP again. You're going to get Ubisoft downgrading some, or you're going to get.
Oh, we're going to see more pachinko machines.
You're going to see.
Maybe they'll have them at the show.
You're going to see Ubisoft show off something that will not look anything like how it comes out. You're going to see some fucking gimmicks of virtual reality and HoloLens and Surface Touch tablets and this, that, and the other, and then you're gonna see Zelda. And there's your E3. You don't have to do anything else. That's it. There's your E3. Yeah, I've done it for you.
No, I mean you have a good point. I mean I'm not going to E3 this year. I see so little value in going. And like Greg, you don't even want to go, and you're a few hours away from the convention center.
Yeah, I'm like a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
Right.
From
LA. Very accessible. But yeah, even last year I felt when I was on on the show floor, I felt like I could gain more by staying in the hotel and watching. Like being at E3, I couldn't see any of the Nintendo Treehouse stuff. Yeah, I could play the games, which is fantastic, but that opportunity can be provided by Nintendo of Canada here in Canada later
Yeah.
after E3. So it's like, okay, well, I don't need to go to LA. I can actually get more by sitting at home, watching all of the the press releases come in, than actually being there, being blared by noise and games and trailers that you can't play. So
Yeah. I don't know.
it's
It's kind of half and half. You do have the opportunity to learn stuff about the show, but at the same time, you yourself as a journalist, like been, I've broken news after sitting with developers
say
and
what now?
meeting with people, like breaking news when you sit down with a developer,
Oh,
like,
I thought you said
maybe they tell you something
sleeping with a developer. I was
about,
like, oh my God, you said that with such a straight face.
I would
Zoe
love to do
Quinn,
that. But
Gamergate.
like there's certain things you can do with the show if you cover it the right way, but again, when you're trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip like this year, it's going to be more difficult to do that, especially when there's not very much there.
Did we hear anything about Square Enix? Are they bringing anything this year?
Yeah, they're gonna
uh,
bring the Final Fantasy 15 and be like, "Look at this! It's coming out in 2018. In 2020, you're gonna get the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and you'll have to buy it in 27 different parts, and each part will be $59.99." And then people will go buy it because it's Final Fantasy 7 because they're sheep. And yeah, that's it.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided is probably where we're going to see mostly from them.
Hmm.
Yeah, baby. I like Deus Ex. Deus Ex is a good game.
Do you
Good
think we're gonna
series.
see maybe E3 die off in the next year or two, or just completely transform into a whole different kind of point?
Well, they even said
Depends
that
on the
this year that it
industry.
was going to change. It was going to change venues, and it didn't change venues. They said it was going back east. It's not. But I think it's so weird that they put less emphasis on it and more on to the smaller events that are littered throughout the U.S. I don't know. I don't see it dying off, but I see it changing vastly how it's been.
Yeah.
But then they should make it so hard to, if they want people, if they're gonna have less content, they make it easier for people to cover the less content there.
Yep. Maybe downscale too a bit if they're gonna have less content. Don't
Yeah,
don't.
I don't see it going into one hall because there's still too much to not split between the two halls and the meeting rooms. But
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think they could all put it all in that the second hall, the one that you have to walk really far to, where EA is usually located with Activision. Like that
Hmm.
hall is feels pretty like sparse in the back and everything. I think they could squeeze everything in there. But we've come down to the hour, so let's start off the lightning round. This is where oh, they have some Tomb Raider news, says Darren. That's interesting. I still haven't tried the new Tomb Raider. I really want to get into that.
Yeah.
It's why I
Tomb
bought the
Raider,
Xbox.
Rise of
Rise
whatever
of the Tomb
coming
Raider.
coming to PS4.
Yeah, that'll probably be what it is. Since
Yeah, and maybe some DLC content. I liked it.
I love the first one. Shawn liked it too. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a lightning round, so now we're going to open the floor for topics and questions from the people in the chat. If you have any questions or topics you want to direct to Greg, Shawn, myself, now's the time. Anything you want us to talk about, any questions you might have for Greg, since Greg is our special guest and doesn't join us every week, even though he asks every week. But no.
See, somebody said it. Sunset Overdrive is the only good exclusive that's already out.
Wait. Oh, an actual exclusive, not a timed exclusive. I was looking at getting Sunset Overdrive. Like, is
It
it?
was free with gold.
I
Where?
don't.
What are you doing?
I don't get gold. I don't know. My
You don't.
Xbox enthusiast guys aren't telling me what to do. They're not here. But
Go
is
to a
it?
Best Buy, find it used. It's
Yeah.
like $15 or something.
Does it have a
Or you
good
can go to.
single player? Is it all like? Is it pretty reliant on the multiplayer aspect?
It's fun single player.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up right now. I just bought Life is Strange, so that'll be coming in this week.
Look, you can get Sunset Overdrive for $11 on GameFlip.com.
See, that scares me. Like when a game is that cheap, I usually tend to think it's not good.
Because nobody bought it. It's
Well, it's been
used.
out
It's
for a couple of
old.
years.
Yeah. Does a new
Wow.
rock band shock anyone? No. Rock band is dead.
I just don't see. I mean, like Guitar Hero, they kind of did. I mean, if that was their most, game changing thing about the game, that you can face the audience when you play now, and they added a few more buttons. Like, can't you guys see that this is dying? Or even like I just saw some Call of Duty news that they're not even going to use a new engine for the game. They're just going to make modifications to the original engine. And even my girlfriend could tell when I was playing Advanced Warfighter, and I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, but she noticed how dated the graphics look, and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm playing this, and like turned it off. It's yucky.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Did you buy Life is Strange on PC or console? You must be talking to someone else.
That's to me. They're talking to me. I bought it for Xbox One. DevBird asks, will you give me a job at NE? Everybody can have a job at Enthusiast soon.
How would you react to NX being more powerful Wii U? It'd be stupid.
You're kidding. You're dying on us, dude. And he's gone. What was he reading?
I don't know.
That's
that guy.
4. That is terrible. I need a new co-host here. Greg, you interested?
Yay! Sign me up. I actually played Life is Strange. I realized I couldn't drop the link into the chat, but I played it on PC. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was so much to the point that I went back and replayed some of the areas and made some different choices and loaded different save points to do so. I even ended the game a couple different ways that you could end it, and was really surprised just at the soundtrack and it was just kind of a different experience that I hadn't been used to in a decision based kind of point and click with a little bit of adventure aspect to a game.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. I've just heard so many good things about it. I figure I should try it. All right, I'm back into the questions here. How would you react to NX being a more powerful Wii U? Like, as long as it's not called that, I'm totally fine with that. That's what it's supposed to be, basically.
Nintendo NXU?
No, Nintendo NX NU or the NXU. Wii.
NU? Well, NU too.
NX Wii. Wii NX.
I think they need to just stop with the
Wii.
The Wii branding. They need to move on.
I think everybody understands it's a dead one now. It's a dead brand. Are you guys going to do a review of Mario Sonic Wii U Olympics? Yes, we are. We review everything, and I'm not sure who's reviewing that. I don't know if we got a review copy. I certainly have not. But yeah, we'll be reviewing it sooner or later. Tendo Leo's back. You're going to get your game after the podcast. Halo 5 looks okay, but not amazing. I have no opinion on Halo 5 because I haven't played it.
I bought it and it's still in the wrapper.
Oh, no.
I bought it with all intentions of, because I was playing the Master Chief Collection, another broken game on the Xbox One. And all my friends and my brother's like an extremely talented Halo player. But I, had all intentions of playing it. But, when you have reviews come up and articles and content, and then it just gets sucked into the backlog vacuum. Never went back to play it.
I know what that's like. Got plenty of time for the backlog these days, though. Greg is a better co-host. Awesome.
Person lying straight to my face.
Nintendo Pixar. Oh yeah, we do have a Lego game coming to the Wii U. We've got that game to look forward to. Force Awakens does look pretty good, though.
I would like to see something along the lines of a new Mario RPG that's not in the Paper Mario vein.
That'd be nice. Would you still go turn-based, though, or do you feel turn-based is outdated? Because I feel we're kind of, I don't know, we're all like 30, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go. I like the exploration aspect to it. Um, I remember, the original Mario RPG and just being super. That's my ringtone on my phone right now, actually. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, like the Outer World stages where it has a.
Dun,
But
dun, dun,
I don't
dun,
know.
dun,
I
dun,
want to
dun,
see.
dun,
I
dun.
kind of want to see him revisit that. I like the art style of the Paper Mario, but then it's kind of the same where you have the platformer Mario games as well as the Galaxy games that they can like kind of coexist in the same area.
Yeah. I hope we see that too. I don't know. I mean, Mario RPG, I guess, was a collab, and that's why we didn't see it. Paper Mario's good, but I don't know. I feel they've been running it to the ground a bit. Putting Paper Mario into the Mario and Luigi universe was a good touch, but Color Splash isn't looking too promising.
Yeah.
You've only seen 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, but I'm just going with what everybody's saying. What we have to work with. I'm not going to speculate and say it's the best game ever when I have 2 minutes that says that maybe it's not that good of a game. We don't know.
Yeah.
I really haven't seen a game in a while that's made me say like, wow, I'm having fun right now, or wow, that was really different, or I'm really into this game. So it's hard to. I don't know. I'm not. I wouldn't say jaded. I'm just tired of the same recycled stuff.
How do you feel about Federation Force?
Um, it's such a weird offshoot, and it seems cheapened to me. But I can see it providing a purpose in like a half effort, to appease Metroid fans. I don't know.
Okay. Back to questions. Does anyone know where the push for VR is coming from? I just don't understand why everyone wants a wired headset to be an immersive experience. Wouldn't it make more sense to be wireless? Who wants to take that
Idiots.
one?
That's where it's coming from. It's coming from idiots.
Have you
I did
tried
see,
VR, Greg?
yes, multiple times.
Okay.
Um, so I've seen it develop over the course of the years. I remember playing, I forget what the game's called, on the Oculus Rift. I went to I've been to Indiecade, so the Indie Games Festival in Culver City, a couple years consecutively, and we saw a lot of games come out of there, like kind of some techie stuff. I attend a game developers conference every year, and not this year, but the year before, they had like a really interesting Desolation of Smog tech demo that you could walk in
Smug.
and look under the dragon and all this sort of stuff, but um, I mean, there's a mild demand for it, and if they take the same efforts that they're going to pour into it as they did with motion controls, it's just going to fizzle out in the next couple of years. I mean, it's interesting, but at this point, it's just too expensive, which kind of piggybacks on what I said earlier. When a company like AMD can introduce a VR ready card that's $200, it makes it more plausible.
Hmm.
And that's exactly their goal. They said they want the next generation of 250 million gamers to be on board with that, and the start is 100 million, and the reach is going to be through the RX 480.
You can't even we're in an age where you can't even make a decent functioning video game on a normal console. And these idiots have the balls to say, hey, we're failing miserably making good console games. Let's make VR games instead that we have no idea what we're doing. Like, come on, dude. Just stop.
Sean Long for
Stop.
CEO. Make it happen.
It's just stupid. Just make video games. It's simple. People obviously don't want. People like gimmicks for a year or two. PlayStation Move, Kinect, the Wii. There's your gimmicks. Why are we trying this again?
That analog stick. Oh, that was an annoying gimmick.
That wasn't a gimmick. How was an analog stick a gimmick?
It's not a gimmick. I was being sarcastic.
I know, but you're trying to put it in the realm of something different, where
It was something
that
different that worked. Just like the
that
DS
was
was something different that worked.
that was an evolution. That was an evolution of a controller.
Okay, well, the only way that you know if it's an evolution or a gimmick is in hindsight. Everybody thought the Wii was an evolution until they realized, well, not everybody, but many
I
people.
think see, like I feel like the 3DS was I mean, I really wish they would have continued on that wave of 3D, like the 3D abilities of the 3DS. I think,
I never liked
you
them.
know, I like them a lot. Um, I thought most of the games were done fairly well with it, especially um, the initial Super Mario 3D Land. That's like one of my favorite games
I hated.
to go back and play. Man, what is wrong with you?
I hated the. I've never ever in a Mario game died so much because of poor perspective, and 3D Land was the worst, followed by 3D World, and 3D World's a game I love. But I felt like it was forcing this 3D gimmick on me, and I say gimmick because it was getting in the way of my gameplay and my enjoyment of a Mario game.
Yeah, and virtual reality is going to fix all that.
I didn't
Next
say it would.
question.
Well, next question was which franchise would you like for Nintendo to make a symphony of? Considering they've already symphonized Zelda and Pokemon, you're kind of down to very few franchises that could actually have a full symphony.
I wish they would actually do like kind of like a mashup show, have it
Nintendo
move
Land Symphony.
like something progressive that it touches, Zelda, and then it moves into, some of its other franchises and
Like a
some of the
Smash
quirky music.
Smash Brothers Symphony.
I mean, I wouldn't say entirely based around Smash Brothers, but I mean, at least have some songs or elements from that incorporated into it, especially the demands there. Then yeah,
Yeah, that would be cool. We are going a bit slow for a lightning round, so sorry, just gonna have to pick up the pace. Are you guys excited about Pokemon Sun and Moon? Or are y'all feeling meh on it? I feel meh. Shawn,
Don't care.
Greg,
never played a Pokemon game in my life.
what the hell?
Wow.
Wow,
That's
that is a
admirable.
surprise.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
you should join Obi-Wan over in his stream.
the one genre that I don't have much interest for, and this is just the way my brain works, is like I can, if it has light RPG elements, then I'm all about it. But anything that's really extensive or that requires me to walk through a field and just stop and battle somebody, I'm just like immediately brain like check out.
Hmm. Pokemon lost its appeal to me when I didn't feel like I could catch them all anymore. 700 was a little bit excessive to me.
I'm like you're at
When I can't
a
remember them all.
psychiatrist's office.
What's that?
He said you sound like you're at a psychiatrist's office. I realized I lost my Pokemon. I just couldn't catch them all.
There's too many. That's a good idea for a skit. Thanks. I'm gonna work on
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
And you're gonna help me on that,
What
Shawn.
third party would you have Nintendo buy? Capcom or Konami?
Oh,
Capcom.
well, Konami, because they don't make games anymore. That'd be like saving IPs.
Same
Konami
thing with
sucks.
Capcom.
Hmm?
They don't. What's Capcom doing?
Yeah, they did
Finger
Street
in their
Fighter.
ass?
They did Street Fighter.
Yeah,
They
it's
got the new
soft.
Mega Man cartoon coming out.
They had a very poor launch of Street Fighter. This episodic incremental additions to the game I didn't care too much for. I mean, and plus like each individual character takes less than 10 minutes to beat. Like I'm all about Street Fighter, but it's total turn off on 5.
So what's the verdict? Capcom or Konami?
Either or. Flip a
Get,
coin.
get your master race butt out of here, PC.
I can't keep up. I'm missing some questions
Konami's,
here.
yeah, because Konami, you would also get all the Hudson Soft IPs. So maybe I would say Konami.
Yeah. Are you excited for Pokemon Go,
No.
Greg? You don't care.
And it'll probably end up like Miitomo. I played Miitomo when
Oh,
it first came
geez.
out. Haven't
Everybody.
touched it. Like 20 alerts on it, and I don't even look down at it anymore.
Oh man, that's
I wish I
why.
only.
Talk back to me, Greg, please. I need the coins. No, I haven't touched it in a month myself. I got like a Wario Touch. I got my 1,000 coin reward, and then I was out.
You know what? I would like to see another well done WarioWare game. Like
Yes, please.
they're so like they're the funniest
How about
Wario games out there.
how about like any IP just done well again? Like
They don't do that. No one does that anymore.
Yeah.
Because video games are turning into dog shit.
Seriously.
That's why retro collecting is so hot right now. People think that retro collecting is hot right now because it's a bunch of, older people trying to relive their childhood. To an extent, maybe. But the reason why retro collecting is so popular right now is because those games are fucking good. You don't have to worry about DLC patches. You don't have to worry about online always bullshit. You don't have to worry about a server going down and shit. You pop the game in, you play it. The end.
Yeah.
Beautiful
I would have
day.
to say I do collect retro just because growing up I was super poor. And the only time I ever really got games was at the end of a console cycle. Never really got games, period. And then so all the games that I rented that I would rent over and over for like $1 or $2, I've gone back and purchased, kind of like Turtles in Time. It just depends, but I'm out. I have the ability to be out and hit these like smaller thrift shops. I send Shawn stuff all the time, pictures of stuff I pick up, and that's, I mean, it's kind of half and half for me, but again, there are a ton of great games that you can collect retro and go back and play like right away.
I can't get back into retro. I don't know if it doesn't satisfy me the way modern games do. And I'll admit modern games suck in general in terms of their production and what's being put out there. But like games I even love, like is it Gunstar Heroes? That was this great Sega game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played that. I love that so much as a kid, and
I played it on the 3DS with the 3D Classics version, and I didn't like it.
Geez, you're a party pooper. But no, I never had it as a kid. I always had to play as a friend's house, and it was always great. And yeah, I got it on 3DS, and it has nothing to do with 3D effect or anything. It's just I played the game, and after 10 minutes, I was bored. And I find myself doing that with all retro games. I just play it. It's either too hard, or I'm just bored because it's not like stimulating enough.
So here's a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Here's a question.
I don't
This
like
is a question
that
for
tone.
you, Jason. What do you play?
What do I play?
What do you play? I haven't heard you talk about playing a game in a long time.
Oh shit!
Exposed!
No, I was playing Hyrule War. You want me to do a screenshot of my play log and show it to you? I've been
No.
playing some Hyrule Warriors. Today I was playing some Yoshi's Woolly World. The other day I was playing some Minecraft for the first time on a console.
Now, was it you playing or someone else playing on your account?
It was me playing with someone.
Ah.
It's called multiplayer co-op. You should try it sometime with a friend. Anyway, let's bring this show to an end. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this Class vs. Crass podcast. We are here every week. Usually Shawn and myself are always here, and sometimes we bring in a guest. But before we wrap it up, Shawn, what can we expect from you?
Olympia Rising review at some point this week, depending if I can get past these frame rate issues. And then I did some weird ass skit with Jason. Shawn plays with himself.
I was laughing at your comment, not my comment.
No. Good old Connor. Yeah, you know how I am. I just go with the flow. Sometimes I film at 2 a.m. because that's how I am. So yeah.
All right, Greg. If anybody wants to get in touch with you and get to know you better, or find your face elsewhere, where can they find you?
No, everything's private.
Okay, so nobody can talk to Greg. I see.
No,
I see some enthusiast podcasts popping up everywhere. You guys are like spreading like herpes. Jeez.
Yeah, we're trying to get Let's Discuss going a little bit more frequently. We haven't really pinned down a date just because Jake, the guy that I do the stream with, runs a recording studio, and I'm just kind of all over the place. But check us out on the PC Gaming Enthusiast YouTube channel. We're trying to get that reinvigorated with Let's Discuss.
Don't change the cover banner. It's wonderful.
It needs to be changed immediately.
Jason hugging stuff. I don't know why.
It's gaming love everywhere.
People think I'm the egomaniac. Look who's on the banner of PC Gaming Enthusiast.
Hey, I was the only one with a show there for a while.
You did 2 episodes!
Only one with a show.
But you can find me too over on the Enthusiast .gg PC section. But yeah, E3's coming up, so what there is coming from the show, try to keep up with the coverage as much as possible. So.
Oh yeah, and people, don't go to E3. Go to Too Many Games in Philadelphia from June 24th to 26th, and you can hang out with me.
Screw Too Many Games and you. So yeah, as Shawn was saying, I'm working on 2 skits now. One's going to be out tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest. It's weird. Then we have another skit which is way too hard to do and it's not going to be that funny, but we're still going to finish it. And then I'm trying to get my E3 documentary done this week. I don't know if that's going to be done. That's big. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of other good stuff here on the Nintendo Enthusiast channel. Do check out our sister site, PlayStation Enthusiast, if you do some of that, or Xbox Enthusiast if you do some of that, or PC Gaming Enthusiast if you do some of that. Whatever you do, follow all 4. Yeah, 4.
Yay.
We'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep it classy, as Shawn would say.
Keep it crassy.
Greg, do you like to sing anything?
No.
No, because we usually do a little song at the end.
La 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 la.
Yeah, you
all
just
you
keep...
get.
Ass and titties. Ass and titties. Ass and titties. And big booty bitches. Ha!
We need to get better music on here. Just wait for the skit. Yeah.
That's. Oh yeah. No, that's a good song. Ass and titties. 3-6 Mafia.
Hey,
The skit is more delayed than Mighty Number 9.
What's more delayed?
The skit.
Oh, jeez, that's true. That hurts.
That is true.
That's in the feels right there. All right.
Are you playing music?
No, I'm signing us off.
All right. Bye, everybody.